In this Monday.com beginner's guide, we are going to go over all of the important features that you will have to know to actually get started using Monday. Now, please make sure to actually watch till the end so that you don't miss out on anything important. To get started, we are going to get ourselves a free Monday account. Now, you don't even have to put in your credit card to get started with Monday. However, if you want to support me for completely free, you can actually use the affiliate link down below. But either way, no hard worries if you don't, just head over to Monday and click on get started right here. Then Monday is going to walk you through the process of setting up an account, so you can either just put in your email address or you can also continue with Google, which is what I'm going to do right here. Then Monday is going to ask you some super simple questions which you will just have to answer yourself, like how many people are on your team and how many people work at your company. Now we'll just quickly go through these questions, and as for these questions right here, you can actually just click on other because it doesn't really matter what you're going to tick either way. And now Monday will basically want to walk you through the process of setting up your first board. However, before you can do that, you will basically have to invite your teammates onto Monday. So basically, as we've ticked beforehand that we have multiple people working on our board and working in our company, we will have the option to invite our teammates. We can do that by either just using this link right here or by inviting other teammates with the email function right here. Now, by doing this, you will basically have the option to set the visitor type, so basically the visitor role. And now if they're going to be admin, they can basically access all of your boards later on, and they can then also basically add new tasks and so on. However, if they're going to be member, they can only add and edit content, and they can't basically invite and manage new users. So basically just do this if you want to. However, as for me, I will just click on remind me later, and now Monday will basically want you to get started on your first board. However, to actually make things easier for us on the long term, I will click on the X on the top right. Now this will basically directly open up the Monday dashboard so that we can actually go through Monday from scratch. So as you can see, this is going to be our default project management dashboard. However, as for this video, I will just click on delete, and then I'm going to quickly go through to the home page. Right here on the home page, you're going to see all sorts of different things that currently are happening on your Monday account. Like for example, you're going to see a view of the recently visited page, of the update feed inbox, workspaces and so on, and we're going to go through all of the features in this video. Now, the only thing that is important for now is that if you're going to click on the top right, you're going to see an overview of all of the features that Monday is going to offer, and you can then go through the personal information right here, and you can basically change everything if you want to. However, to get started, I will actually click on add from templates right here. Now, Monday will basically allow you to basically create all sorts of different boards depending on all sorts of different use cases, and they do have pretty good templates for that. So as you can see, they even do have some design templates, like you can do pixel art on Monday. However, they also do have more serious templates, like templates for content creation, like for project management, as well as for real estate and so on. However, as for this video, to actually give you guys a better idea on how everything is going to work, we're going to create a new template completely from scratch. To do that, I will just select this start from scratch template right here, and then I'm going to click on use template, and now this template is going to be basically loaded up on our Monday dashboard. Now, as for this video, I will actually create basically an example dashboard for a video editing agency. So the first thing that I'm going to do is changing the title right here. So I'm going to change this to video editing agency. I guess I will just call this Krause Media. This is just an example, and then we can actually get started setting up our board. Now our board is going to be structured like this. On top, we are going to see the view of our board. We can also add new views, like the Kanban view for example, onto our board, and we can now change in between of these views. So to get started, I will just basically use the main table view, as this is probably going to be the view that most of you are most familiar with. Now inside this view right here, we are then going to see see an overview of all of our groups, and we can then also add new items onto our groups. We will then have these settings right here where we can basically search within our board. We can also see all of the persons within our board. Now obviously we don't have any persons added yet, so we won't see anything right here, and we can then also do stuff like filtering, sorting, and hiding columns, and so on. Now for now I will actually just delete this second group title right here. Now if we would now want to add this new group back, we would just have to click on add new group right here. Now as for this video, I'm just going to need one group, so I'm just going to leave this as it is. So now I'm going to change the group title to projects. And then I'm also going to change the color of my group right here to something greenish. Now basically this projects group is now going to be structured so that we are going to first of all have an item on the left, and for each of these items we will then have to assign different kind of informations on the right. Now these informations are also called columns, and we can basically add all sorts of different columns that we want to. We can also then delete these columns, so let's for example delete the date page right here, and now we are going to have this deleted, and now all of our items don't actually have a date column essentially. However, to now actually add the date column back, we will just have to click on essentials and then on date. Now Monday doesn't only offer these columns right here, they also do offer a variety of all sorts of other columns which you can all add onto your page essentially. Now as for me, I will just quickly add a numbers column, and then I'm also going to add an email column right here, which is going to be handy later on. Now we can also change the name of these columns, so let's for example change numbers to budget. And now I'm actually going to select all of these example items because we don't actually need them, and I'm going to click on delete. So let's now say that our video editing agency actually has a proposal from let's say Mr. Beast, okay? So I'm just going to say video edit for Mr. Beast. And then we will have to add a person onto this the item right here. So for me, I'm just going to select myself as I'm the only person inside our team. And then we can also add a status. Now, by default, we are going to have these three status right here. However, we can actually also edit the labels. So let's, for example, say that we are going to add a new label, which is going to say start. And then we can also change the alignment of this. So I'm just going to basically put this on top right here. And now we can change the status right here. As for date, let's say that this is going to be the end date. And then I'm going to add the date to add and date to this, sorry. And I'm actually just going to say that, okay, that this project is actually until the next Friday. Now as for budget right here, let's say that Mr. Beast is really generous and that he is going to give us a budget of $10,000, and then we can actually also add an email onto this project right here, which in our case would just be a contact person for this video edit. Now this is going to be very useful later on, so basically I'm just going to put in a random email address, mrbeast@mrbeast.com, and we can then also add a text to this, which I'm just going to and as you can see, now this is going to look something like this. We are then also going to see a sum of all of the budgets inside our project. So if we would now if we would technically add a new test item right here with a budget of, let's say, 5,000 dollars, sorry, my bad, the sum would be updated, and actually basically the overview would also be updated right here. So let's for example say that we are working on this test item, then our status would be working on it for one of the two items and start for the second one basically. And this is basically super useful if you are going to have a lot of items inside your project. But for now, I will actually just delete this test item as we don't actually need it. Now, one thing which I would like to touch on is that you can actually add all sorts of different views onto your board. So obviously we already do know the Kanban view, and if we're actually going to drag this onto stack right here, this is automatically going to be updated for the main table view as well. However, we can also add all sorts of other views like the calendar view, which is also super important in my opinion, because right here you can then basically see an overview of all of the upcoming events. Now as for the dashboard dashboard right here, you can basically add all sorts of widgets, and this dashboard essentially just basically works as an overview of all of the data inside your board. So we could now add a new widget, which is going to say numbers, and then we could change this numbers tab to budget. However, we can also get way more in depth with this. As you can see, basically Monday offers all sorts of different widgets. They even offer a YouTube widget where you can add a video to your Monday dashboard, which I find pretty interesting. But either way, as you can see right here, they are going to have a lot of widgets which you can all add onto your Monday dashboard. And one other thing which I would like to touch on are the integrations on Monday. Now, Monday is basically going to offer you a variety of different integrations, let it be apps or simply just integrations with other marketing tools. As you can see right here, Monday is basically going to offer you all of these tools right here. And these apps on screen are all software integrations. So basically you can just connect Monday with all of these apps. However, they actually do also have different kind of apps. So if we would, for example, click on more widgets right here, you can see that on the far bottom, we can also basically have different kind of apps that are directly developed by Monday, and you can also see a marketplace of all of the different apps that Monday is going to offer. So technically, with these apps in mind, you're even going to get more integrations, and you can, for example, use these apps to embed the Google Calendar onto your Monday dashboard, to embed Google Sheets, embed Loom videos, and so on. So overall, super useful stuff. However, one thing which I would like to still touch on is the automations tab on Monday, which is also super useful. Now, you can find the automations tab on the top right here, and basically, once again, Monday is going to offer you a variety of different kind of templates which you can use, which are all pretty useful. And depending on what kind of automation you're looking for example, if you want recurring automations, you're going to get them right here. Now, depending on what kind of automation you're looking for, you're going to get tons of different useful thoughts and useful automations basically. However, to basically give you guys a better idea on how to build up these automations, I'm going to click on create custom automation right here. So to get started, we will actually have to set a trigger for our automation. Now, as for this, I will actually just add a trigger which is called task created. I'm sorry, I think it's actually item created right here. Sorry, my bad. And then basically, we can add all sorts of different actions for this trigger. So let's, for example, say for our video editing agency, we are going to say, we are going to send out an email when an item is created so that the person that actually booked a project with us gets updated frequently automatically. Now, to do that, we will either have to use Gmail or we can also use Outlook, depending on your preferences. Now, I will just select Gmail right here. And then we can first of all put in our email template. So we can actually also add customization to this and personalization to this. So let's, for example, say we're going to add hello, we started with our project. And then you can basically put in all sorts of different example text right here. However, I will not get into the process of that because this is going to be pretty boring. However, one thing which I would like to touch on is that you can actually use these auto-populate fields from the board items so that you can actually customize these emails. So in my case, I'm just going to put in hello username, and now they're directly going to be greeted like hello Mark, hello John, and so on. And we could now basically also add a text like our budget for the project is, and then we can basically add the budget right here and so on. So overall, super useful stuff. And then we will have to select the receiver. So in my case, I'm going to select the email column which we've created beforehand. And now if we are going to create this automation, we would beforehand have to connect our Gmail account. But after that, our automation is set up and the emails are going to be sent out automatically. Monday also offers an inbox feature where you can communicate with all of your team workers, and this is also super useful because this is basically going to give you an overview of everywhere where you first of all got mentioned, everything that you've bookmarked, and all of the account updates inside your Monday account. So basically you can actually also get the Monday app to directly get notifications on your phone if you want to. Now that's basically it. As always, if you have any more questions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe.